Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very interesting news coming out over here where PlayStation and Sony themselves are now literally suing people who are creating cheats, and they actually had a chance to go and win a multi-million-dollar deal in damages when it comes to people utilizing and destroying a lot of their online games. Now, this is a very intriguing, thing that even happened in the first place. So I want to go talk about what I kind of think, what it kind of means to the gaming industry, and as well, why this actually might be a really good sign too as well. So a lot of interesting stuff going on with this one. So let's go and talk about it. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, gaming news, restock news, and all that good stuff for the channel. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow and hang out over there, and of course the Weeble and all the other good stuff. Amazon links for the PS5 if you guys want to sign up for the invitations, and as well for the Target links down below too on that for all the PlayStation 5. So, with this, we're going to be talking about a very peculiar topic. So, first and foremost, I do want to go and say this before we fully dive out in. It's more so in regards to Destiny 2, in regards to the suing and the actual lawyer fees and all of that. But the big thing is that I'm sure you guys have heard or know about it. Bungie was bought out by PlayStation, by Sony themselves. So at this point, with that already going, basically in the process and me going through, this is pretty much PlayStation, Sony themselves. It's kind of just the hierarchy, just so you guys know, in terms of that, in terms of what I'm bringing up in general. So with this, we actually have now seen that Destiny 2 has had, there's a lot of hackers. We've even seen this with Call of Duty, with Warzone, where they're trying their best to basically go and now whenever someone's caught hacking or expected of being a hacker, they're now basically losing their weaponry and also using their ability to use their fist and everything else inside the games. And that's basically for them to try to be like, hey, this person over here should not be getting, 50 points or whatever you guys want to go call it in terms of the game. That depends on the game, obviously. But when it comes to that stuff, is that they should not be doing so well. Or maybe just more of the frequency, maybe the amount of different areas, maybe the movement, whatever it may be. We've been seeing a lot more cheating happening in online games. And as well, this doesn't really ever stop games, say like Destiny 2, where they also have a lot of cheaters, whether it's in trials, whether it's in other various types of PvP, whether it's in even PvE. I believe there's even been cheaters for that one. It's just been kind of a big struggle. So now with this, Destiny 2, and like I said, they're just more so on the ownership now on PlayStation Sony side, has now had cheat creators basically making games, making custom cheats for the game, and they are now agreeing to pay Bungie $13.5 million in damages after Bungie had a chance to go and sue them. So Bungie claims anti-cheating tech has now cost its company and game itself exuberant amounts of money. So let's go talk about this because it's actually a very intriguing topic. Bungie has won now a lawsuit that will see a Destiny 2 cheat company pay it now $13.5 million in damages from all so basically this is more in regards to say you're doing a PvP match, and then someone has cheats enabled, or say trials, their game mode. You have to pay someone to maintain the trials network. You have to maintain someone to make brand new maps. You need someone working on the brand new guns. You need to have a specialist and analyst to basically have a chance to go and see what's good, what's overpowered, what abilities are good, and all that type of stuff. And obviously with that, you're paying for employees. You have to pay the employees a lot of money to maintain every single week. You need to go and actually pay for assets. You have to go and pay for everything else in the game. But as well, not even just from the actual making of these games, you also have the folks that will believe the game itself because there's hackers with it. And if you guys don't think that's a big aspect when it comes to games, and you guys don't think that affects things like microtransactions, less player base means less money being spent. DLCs and expansions, less people playing, less people having bad experiences with hackers and stuff like that, means less potential for folks to buy games in the future. And as well, don't forget to, if someone's hacking and you get killed by a hacker, you don't want to play the game, you're to stop playing. And as well, there's bad PR, there's just bad everything. I'm sure you guys can understand why it's just not a good vibe. So with that, obviously you don't want to have cheaters, you don't want to have hackers, you don't want to have people messing up your multiplayer game. So the Destiny publisher filed a lawsuit in August 2021, claiming that Elite Boss's tech cheating software infringed on Destiny 2's copyright. As reported by Torrent Freak, the lawsuit has now officially ended, with both sides now agreeing to end the dispute. As a result of the agreement, Elite Boss Tech will now be paying $13.5 million in statutory damages and will be prohibited from creating, distributing, or making available any future software that now infringes on Bungie's rights. So I would say first and foremost, this is some huge news. Number one for Sony PlayStation, but number two for Bungie, and also for the future of a lot of multiplayer games. This also somewhat sets a pretty good precedent, in my opinion. So think a game like Call of Duty, where if you have a big company and maybe they're trying their best to go make out and rent out and do whatever they can to profit off, say, Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other type of, Valorant, CSGO, whatever game out there, Overwatch. For that also sets a pretty big precedent that the courts themselves do not like this. And the fact that the courts can also be like, yeah, this company is confirmed losing money because of this technology, because of them doing this, or because of hackers and like people having cheats and all this stuff out there, there's going to be less people playing the games like we mentioned, less people buying DLCs, less people doing microtransactions, and all that stuff put together. So it does kind of set a really good precedent both for PlayStation and Bungie, but as well for other future games, because they basically should be cutting down a lot on hacking, because obviously if you're a hacking group, or developing hacks or making these hacks, you don't want to be paying $14 million, and sometimes you might not even have $14 million to even give out. So Elite Boss's Tack accepted that its cheating software both injects code into Destiny 2's copyright code, and also features a graphical overlay that integrates with the code itself. This creates an unlicensed derivative work, and therefore counts as copyright infringement, which is kind of funny because I feel like that's kind of a weird kind of take to go for. But at the same time, if they're utilizing this custom-made code and they're trying to go and sell it, at the end of the day, Bungie would own the actual code itself. I just personally think they would have probably went a different direction in terms of how they'd want to sue it, kind of more of like the paces I was just saying, where it's affecting the player base and ruining the experience and blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of intriguing to see that they actually went for a different way, talking about more on the code side. So Elite Boss Tech also admitted that its software bypasses Bungie's anti-hacking measures, which is also a violation of the DMCA's anti-circumvention laws, which obviously for that, you just don't want to have folks out there basically circumventing your anti-hacking, anti-cheating, because number one, that means they're cheating, but number two, well, you have it there for a reason to protect other players. According to an old review on Elite Boss Tech's website, the Destiny 2 cheat gave players access to aimbot, a radar, and a warning message that shows players where the enemy that shot them is located. The company is still selling cheats for other games, including Halo Infinite, was kind of surprising on that one, CSGO, Dead by Daylight, Apex Legends, and Warframe. So a lot of pretty high up there, either free-to-play games or very active player-based games in the first place. So basically how the company itself made money and how they can even make their money back. My one big thing is I'm very curious on how much money they'll make back from it. So it sells individual hacks on a subscription basis for $20 or $19.95 CAD per month, or a VIP subscription offering access to cheats for more than 20 games, so including some of the games we mentioned over there, for $29.99 per month. However, the agreement in the lawsuit determined that each download of the Destiny 2 cheat constitutes statutory damages of $2,000, which I think we could all collectively agree, that's kind of a lot of money. Now, do I really think every single cheat itself costs $2,000 worth of damage? I mean, you can maybe kind of see a case for it. Like I said, if you're playing, like I say, a PvP match, let's go and say you play 10 matches, you get 5 different opponents every single time. That could be 50 different people. And then on top of that, imagine every DLC, let's say it's $20 for cheaping over there. That could add up. If you also factor in, say, microtransactions, or maybe then with their word of mouth, complaining on Twitter, complaining on Reddit, maybe going and complaining to their own friend, maybe a lot of these social-based type games, maybe they just have a lot of folks, being like, hey, Dave, let's go get Destiny 2, it's fun again, and then obviously buying that. It could be a kind of pretty big, vicious cycle of how they basically have to go judge out that price point. So at the end of the day, I can maybe see that being a proper price point where that could be a big issue. So given that all the cheats themselves were downloaded 6,765 times, that came to a total of $13,533,000. The agreement is that the latest example of video game publishers cracking down on hackers. So, as you guys can even kind of see the article itself we've referenced over here too, or even some Call of Duty 2s over here are mixed on in. So even earlier on this year, Gary Bowser was sentenced to 40 months in prison for his part as a member of a hacking group called the Team Executor, which in 2013 began creating and selling circumvention devices, enabling players to play illegal ROMs on consoles, including the Switch and 3DS. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts and comments down below on all this. I think it's overall nice to see that PlayStation, Sony, Bungie, and all of them together have kind of set a good precedent, avoiding even more hackers, because we don't want hackers and people like this using aimbots, etc., ruining our multiplayer games. It's just No one wants to deal with that. It's not a fun experience. It makes gaming less fun. So I do think the fact that there is a good precedent set for this and actually winning in the courts, I think that's awesome. So I would say good news, good thumbs up in my mind. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for the PS5 itself, Target links too as well, and the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys want to follow on up and hang out over there whenever you guys have some spare time.